Greetings. Welcome to another Magick La Croix production. As y'all can see, I have a special guest here, Ms. Ashley. She's an up and coming YouTuber, and we're just gonna have a little tete-a-tete today. How you doing today, sister?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I had to cancel my hair appointment, but I am not wearing a mask for 3 hours. I'm just not doing it.
I know that's
So
right. I think things are ready. They better stop with the mask.
yeah, it's
Wearing
stupid.
'em. I ain't
But
wearing them.
for those out there who don't know you, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Ashley Keys. I'm new to the YouTube channel. I've been promoting and educating people through my blog, which is Beautiful Goddess 89 at Blogspot. Um, And with that blog, I created about a year ago. And I kind of just do my own research from what I see today and from our ancestors, what is normal and what is not normal. And I pretty much just speak on that. I promote more on for the men than the women because I think men don't get as much as women sticking up for men more as a lot of women downgrade and belittle men. So I definitely call the sisters out on their bullshit, and a lot of women don't like to hear it, but you know what, they gonna hear it. So
I know
that's a
that's
little
right.
bit about me, and I am on YouTube now that the kids are out of school. I'm able to make more videos, so look out for my videos because they will
Okay.
be posting more, and my YouTube name is Ashley Keys. But
Okay.
if you want to check out any of my blogs, my name is Beautiful Goddess 89 at blogspot.com.
Okay. It's quite an impressive resume. Quite impressive. Okay.
Thank you.
So let's jump right into it. What are your thoughts on the current state of Black relationships? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I definitely think it's failing. I think we are all failing as far as the community with the relationships because of the promotion of hookup culture. You
Mm,
know, um, people are being programmed to think this is normal, and it's not. Um, so we are separated. Black men and black women, we are separated. And if we weren't slaves back then, we still are slaves today. And we are letting them do it to us by separating ourselves. And especially black women,
mhm.
we are at war with the black man because they're letting it happen. And they don't want to admit when there's a problem or even recognize that there is a problem. So it's definitely getting worse by the years. You know, the last generation before me and my generation, oh fuck. We gotta do better. We gotta do better because our kids are watching and
Mhm.
we are fucking our kids up. Like people really don't realize we are fucking our kids up because it's deemed as normal now and it's not okay. Like we are damaging the fuck out of these kids and we don't recognize there's a problem. We
Okay.
think this is okay.
Right. So when you say it's fucked up, it's just like it's there is really no good relationships out there between black men and black women.
I'm sure there is, but
Majority.
society doesn't promote the good side and the great relationship. They only promote the bad side because they want, us as black people to look bad. That's just how it's been and it's how it's continued to be. If you like yourself, is married and has raised your own kids, it will not be promoted because
Right.
it's too good. It's too good
Right.
to show that side of the black community.
Right.
So more promoting of the hookup culture, one night stands. single mothers, the music that we listen to is bullshit, and the women that listen to it just they take on the whole vibes of those songs. Oh, I want to be an independent woman, just like Beyonce. But Beyonce going home to her billionaire husband while y'all broke, going home to your Section 8 apartment with your kids either at grandma's house or at a babysitter because you're an independent woman. And they think it's normal, and it's not. It's funny to laugh at, but on a serious note, it's not funny.
Sad. Right? It's sad. I totally agree with you. And do you think that there's a deep-rooted cause for all of this?
Oh, most definitely. When it comes to the Black community, it comes from slavery. People don't want to identify that because they have been so far away from their ancestors, and they have not tapped into their ancestral background, that they can't even identify why they act the way they do. But for people as a me that, actually have, I can identify like, okay, back then I used to act like crazy, and I actually promoted hookup culture in my day. But when I actually woke up and became spiritually awakened, like, you realize that this shit is all promoted and you're being literally programmed to act this way. And if you don't recognize that, you're just gonna keep going down the rabbit hole and pretty much fucking you and your whole entire generation to come, because you don't want to recognize what's going on. And it's right in front of our faces. It's being advertised right in front of our faces.
You mean as far as advertised as like what, through TV and music and the media?
Oh, well, most definitely all those, because a lot of people have been raised by single mothers. So the only healthy, or excuse me, not healthy, the only relationships they have been, able to witness is through television. And a lot of that, is reality shows, movies, which is unrealistic kind of relationships that we should even be looking at. But if that's all you know, that's all you know. I mean, if you don't have a mom or a dad in your life, of course, where else would you find a relationship to look up to? The first thing would be TV, and a lot of it is so dysfunctional and it's so disturbing, yet people don't realize this is what they're looking up to, and basing their relationships off of what they deem as normal is really not normal. It's just how they want our demographic of Black people to act. This is how they want us. They want us to stay in a state of chaos. They want us to stay in a state of not knowing ourselves. They want us to be at war with ourselves. The Black woman and the Black man. That is the main goal for white supremacy, is to separate the man and the Black family.
So there is an agenda for this happening.
Oh yeah, there's an agenda. It's been happening. It's been happening as soon as it was, with slavery. They separated the Black man in slavery because they would torture and kill and, basically belittle the Black man in front of the Black woman during the slave days. And he couldn't defend himself. Otherwise, his family was up for the same torture as he was. So he pretty much took on all the punishment the white man gave the whole family, but he took the whole punishment for them. And, it when they put drugs on the street, for the Black man to sell, because they wanted to separate. Sorry, 1 second.
It's okay.
So,
greetings, Gold Mine and Christine Collins. That's okay. That's okay.
But yeah, Sorry, but yeah, when they put drugs on the streets for the black man to sell because they wouldn't hire him anyplace other, he really had no choice
Right.
but to provide for his family doing that. It was either that or not bring home any bread at all.
Right.
So of course he took the route of, hey, I got to do what I got to do for my family.
Right.
And with that, they, the prison to pipeline system,
Hmm.
it just destroyed the black family. You
Right.
know, when black women can't support their black man, they just pretty much take on the the white supremacy point of view. They think like the black, or excuse me, they think like the white woman that
Mm.
they need to be separated, just like the whole feminist movement, not
Hmm.
whole, because the black women have been advertised and promoted to do everything the white woman has done. Every
So
as
fe-
sorry.
feminism, feminism, in your opinion, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to come back to that point.
I know that was one of our questions, but
Yeah, I'm gonna come back
I'm
to
just
that
gonna
point.
be all over it. So yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. You had
Yeah.
said that when you had awakened, when you became spiritual, uh, just a little background. How did that happen, and how long ago did it happen?
It took some years. I pretty much came awakened when I met a gentleman named TJ, and he was already spiritually awakened, and he opened me up to different possibilities and viewing life. And with that, he did teach me a lot of things, and I started to do my own research.
Hmm.
And I started meditating and looking more into ancestral backgrounds and how our ancestors used to, with religion. Um, it was never a part of our ancestors' culture.
Right. Right.
I never did my background research with that. It
Right.
really took a black man to kind of open my eyes for me to open my own eyes. So that's the great thing about having a black man in your life, regardless of a friend, relationship, husband. A
Mhm.
black man will really, really get a black woman where she needs to be if it's a good black man. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Uh, Yay,
been about
Hercules,
2 years.
Hercules, 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 Hercules. Yes, I love that answer.
Yeah, I'm still on my journey and I'm still learning, and
Mhm.
that's my whole goal is to keep learning. You never
Okay.
stop learning. So.
Okay. Like I said, impressive resume so far, and I see that we have a question in here. This question is from Christine Collins. She says, Miss Ashley, what is your thought about how black men of these days treat dark-skinned black women, calling them dogs, saying we look like, it says horse, but I think she means hoes. I think.
Well, to be honest, we have to, when it comes to anything a black man does, we have to be held accountable because the black woman is who raises the black man. So, I guess it just depends on that brother and who he was raised by.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of women that, like I said, are single mothers. And when you are raising your children by yourself, they don't know what it is and what it looks like to have a man in their home. So
Right.
they act just like bitches. Excuse my language. They
Oh
act just
no.
like females.
Cuss as
You know what
much
I'm
as you
saying?
want. Yeah.
So when a man acts like that, the deep rooted cause is most likely from his own mother and his
Mm.
own mother issues, or not having a man in his life to guide him as to how we are, or excuse me, how it is to be around a woman, how you treat a woman, and what is right and what is wrong. Period. Women have to be accountable. Women literally have to be held accountable for how men act because we are their first teachers. We
Right.
literally are their first teachers. If you send them out to public school and you're working a 9 to 5 and you're just working overtime and you're working countless hours, when do you have time to actually raise your child?
Right.
Society is actually raising your children. That's
Right.
basically what's happening in, you know, black women, dark skinned black women. Um, a lot of men have that mindset of they would rather be with a white woman.
Mm.
And
Mm.
I am not a man to speak on that, but I can tell you where I believe the root cause issue is coming from, and that's from his mother. Period.
That's the deep rooted cause of it. Is what your answer is.
That's
Yeah.
exactly where it comes from. It can't come from anywhere else. It has to come from who birthed them. Period. And who
Uh,
did or did not raise them.
right. And Brother Goldmine says mother is always the first teacher. So yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And that, that I think it's a big issue in the black community for black women just to say, hey, it's my fault. I
Mm.
fuck, but yeah, no. I mean, they don't know. You have to take responsibility. If you don't, then you know what? It's just gonna keep happening. It's just like
It's like
somebody with a drug. It's like somebody with a drug addiction. If you can't admit there's a problem, you can't get help.
right. Right.
And so it's just the same, same, same shit.
Same shit. Right. Same shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is your answer, Christine. I hope she answered your question. Um, let's um, let's get Miss Ashley's thoughts on feminism as it applies to melanated women. What was that look for?
Joke. It's a joke.
Is it?
It's funny. It's funny to me because once again, black women don't realize where this shit comes from, and the whole feminist movement was for the white woman to separate herself from her counterpart, the white man.
Right.
Um, but in society, black women have literally just been programmed to do everything the white woman has done because she's the one on the cover of the magazines and she's the one being promoted as what a woman should be, look like. She got her shit together.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, the black woman took on the white woman's mentality of separating herself from her black counterpart, just like the white woman decided, hey, I got to separate myself from my white counterpart. But the white woman was really trying to get away from the bullshit white men do.
Mm.
White supremacy, and a lot of that had a lot to do with mistreating the white woman, getting her ass whooped, getting beat. The white woman was pretty much a slave of the white man, just as much as the black race. In
Mm.
a different form, she was taken care of. She had her family, she had her kids, and her family was together, unlike the black race. But black women really took that whole feminist movement. They jumped right on that shit. They jumped right. I swear to God, like, let's admit it, ladies. We want to. No, I'm not gonna put we in it because I don't. Black women try to do everything the white woman does, as far as having her hair done, nice, long, straight, blonde hair. This shit is not natural for us.
Right.
It's not. Like, we literally want to do everything the white woman does, and it's not natural. It's not working for us, and that shit's got to stop because I'm about sick of seeing this shit. We are not white. Like,
Well.
come on now. Like, seriously. This shit is so annoying. But yeah, we really gotta come to a point where we're like, hey, we are not them. And we kind of need to separate ourselves from the whole white movement, the whole white supremacy. We have to basically get back to our deep roots, our ancestral roots. We have to get back there.
And I just want to chime in here real quick and say that I absolutely agree with you. And I've said it on one of my previous videos. I said, you know what? We have to, call it out for what it is. Feminism had absolutely nothing to do with black men and black women. It had nothing to do with us because when it started, black women and black men and the black child, the families were strong and they were together. We weren't having problems like that. The feminist movement was for white women wanting to be equal to her white man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. And just like you said, and I remember saying this before, black women took it on and took it and ran with it. You see what I'm saying? But it had absolutely nothing to do with us. So I completely agree with you on that. Now, and Karine says, I'm a single mom and my son like white girls, but he is also has utmost respect for all women. He is 13 and is always told how respectful he is. Well, I mean, what do you say to that, Ash? I'll give you the floor on that one. What do you say to that? What do you say to that?
He's 13. He still has time to learn. As far as her being a white woman, I'm assuming he's a black male. He still has time. Being 13, you kind of are looking at what you like as far as look. He likes the white woman or a white girl because of how she looks. And I'm sure he's been around black women, younger girls. And it's a shame that he doesn't find attraction to the black woman. I hope that he does when he gets older. But sadly, there's not really many to look up to say, hey, she's very attractive because of how these young girls are being raised. So, I mean, I can't be mad at him, but at the same time, I really do hope that he, he's
Comes
able to
around.
see, that he's able to actually grow up and see a better, group of black women who carry themselves really well, that he can be attracted to the black women to keep our culture going. But as far as that, I can't say anything as far as my mom is white and my dad is black. A lot of people don't know that about me, but I am mixed.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
My mom, my mom is German and my dad is black. I don't know much about my dad because I was raised by a single mother. But yeah, it's really hard to speak on that when you are mixed. But, when it comes to the eyes of the law, they don't see me as being white. They never have. They will not look at my skin tone and say, hey, she's white.
Right.
No.
Right.
I am black. And I take on.
You couldn't pass for white. Not to me. You couldn't pass for white. Not at all.
Yeah, no. No. And that's okay. I love my my German side. I don't hate on it as far even though Germany, we all know what happened with that. But
right.
My mom separated herself from my grandparents who were very racist. She fell in love with the black man, had 4 black kids, and she doesn't have the same mentality of as a white supremacist woman, I guess you would say.
Right. Understood.
But yeah, I mean, so when it comes to that, hey, I mean, if you find love in somebody that treats you right and respects you, I guess it's, we can't really discriminate against color. If we can't find somebody in our own culture that is like giving us a means to actually want to, keep it in the black community, it's really hard. It's hard because there's not really a lot of women to pick from.
Especially these days. Sad. Right. Yeah.
It's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah. That leads us to that leads us to the next question. the independent woman. Now, before you answer this, I included this question based on your video the other day that you got a lot of positive reviews and people like, yay, preach girl. So that's why I included that question. So you got the floor.
If you haven't seen the video, it was me just going on a rant because I really don't know what was going on that day. And actually, I do know. Facebook was advertising Megan Thee Stallion's new album that just came out. And I'm going through the comments and I'm like, oh, shit. All these independent women look up to Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj. The worst females to look up to. Beyonce is by far the worst because she promotes single women, single independent women.
All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies.
Right. Man, that lady goes home to her billionaire husband. And y'all sitting at home, single, independent women, yelling, all the ladies are independent, whatever, whatever she's singing. But, on a real note, it's okay to be independent. It's okay to be able to take care of yourself. It's okay to have all the means to take care of yourself and your children. But in that doing, don't degrade the Black man because you can do it all by yourself. Don't make it, it's weird for me because I'm like, you can do all this stuff, but why can't you have a man doing all that stuff? Why does it have to be, hey, I gotta be single to do this? You can do all that having a man, and you don't have to degrade any man just because you're independent. And women have taken on the mindset as I'm independent, I don't need a man. So, hey, I'm going to teach my daughter the same thing. I'm going to teach my son the same thing. And then here we go. The kids don't know what it looks like to have a man in the house. It's just really messing up the household, the whole independent women thing. It wasn't meant, I believe it was not meant to be taken seriously for women to stay single and stay single parents raising kids by their own. I think, it should be promoted as, hey, you can do all this stuff and still have a man. Y'all can do this together and build something. It wasn't meant for y'all to take and run with it and run in the club and yell, hey, I'm single, and then, have the kids at grandma's house while you're screaming single ladies. And right. It was taken too goddamn serious by celebrities that don't give a fuck about you. Right. Like, really, they don't give a fuck. They just want your money. So, hey, if I promote that single is the thing now, then they're going to do it. And I'm going to make their money. I'm going to take all their money, and we're going to watch them literally fuck up themselves and fuck up their kids, fuck up their households, and literally live in chaos for the rest of their lives. Because, hey, Beyonce said I could do it. Megan Thee Stallion said, I'm bougie. What'd she say?
I don't know a single song of hers, so you would have to help me with that. I don't know one single song. I don't
know. See, I don't know either. I just know my niece is a young one, and she had it on her phone the other day, and I got so mad I almost threw that phone at the wall. I was you better put that shit down. Oh my God. Because that's all I hear is bad bougie. We're talking about our pussies. Because that's all we know how to use is our vaginas. Is that how we get a man nowadays? Is, hey, I'm going to promote my vagina, and this is how I get a man to notice me.
Let me interrupt you for 1 second. And that's one of the reasons I say I've kind of disliked Beyonce for years, but if you come for her, the whole beehive, I don't care. Anyway, I said that her real talent is shaking her ass and popping that coochie. That's her talent. You can't tell me this girl is some amazing singer. You know what I'm saying? So I've said this for years. I'll still say it. It was interesting to hear your comment. You say Beyonce is by far the worst one. I totally agree with that. But like I was saying, I don't know a single Megan Thee Stallion song. I don't even understand why this woman would call herself a male horse in the first place. I don't get it. A stallion is a male horse. Is what I'm saying. So I didn't mean to interrupt your thoughts. So if you want to go back to it, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, you're fine. That's actually a good question because I wondered that too, and it makes you think like with the whole, promotion of sex changes and things. Is she a man? Is she a man? I don't know. But
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, like I said, like back to the whole independent women thing.
Independent woman.
It's bullshit. It's okay to be independent. It's okay to be able to take care of yourself. It's okay to be all those things. What is not okay is degrading the black man while you're doing it. That
Right.
is not okay because it's already so hard for him to live in this world. We're just making it harder. There's no reason to degrade the black man because you're independent.
Right.
We can all work together. We can all do this together and build great families and build great generational income, So
Right. Yeah, I don't see any other woman, and this is not to tear down the sisters at all, but I don't see any other woman claiming I don't need a man except the black one. All these other races, they stick by their men. They stick by each other. We have lost that. And but again, it's not all our fault because of all the promotion through media, through music. I keep telling people, those subliminal messages through media, through TV is very powerful. As you can see how our current state is. You got all these independent women out here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I totally agree. But like I say, it's refreshing because one of us, I've seen it happen repeatedly. Anytime a man speaks on that, they get attacked by sisters. And I'm
Yep.
like, so it's refreshing to see you as a black woman say that independent woman is bullshit. So I applaud you for that. I do. I do. I
Thank you.
do.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I agree 100% with you. We have to do better.
Mhm.
We we have to do better as even if because I know a lot of women decide, hey, I'm just gonna stick to being single and raise my kids. And hey, I'm all for it because I would rather women do that than go out and sleep with a bunch of men and have their children exposed to different men all the time.
Mm.
At the same time, they still need to know what a black man looks like. So if you have uncles, brothers, things like that, where a child can look up to some man,
Mhm.
we we highly need that in our community because
Yes.
our boys need us. I have a young son, and he has, I will not let him just be me. I won't let it. He has to know what a man looks like because otherwise he will just take on all my traits, all my femininity, and he will not know what masculinity looks like at all. And that's not okay because when he gets out into the world and starts dating,
Mhm.
it's going to be a problem because he does not know how to act as a man. So
Right.
we need our brothers in our home. We need to stop pushing them away. It's got to stop. People are so quick to end a relationship over an argument,
Mm.
disagreements, things like that, and it's not necessary. It's better to work things out for our children instead of walking away so quick. That's where that whole independent women thing comes from. I'm independent. I can walk away, but
Mhm.
you don't need to. You really don't
Right.
need to.
Right.
So I really want more of our sisters to support our brothers. I want to see more of that. We
Mhm.
have to support these brothers. Otherwise, we're just going to lose them. I mean, I know everybody has been seeing these brothers getting killed by the police.
Mm. Mhm.
I mean, it's getting so bad that it's
Unity.
getting really bad.
Unity then.
Exactly.
Unity. Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember I've told my wife, she said something similar too, but I said, shit, ain't no fucking divorce happening here. You get
I
married,
know
you better
that's right.
take your ass in the
Okay.
guest bedroom, because I ain't going nowhere. I'm saying, we ain't
All
going
right. Okay. Exactly.
um,
Exactly.
so Ava says maybe I shouldn't be a lesbian.
Ava, I don't think you should, but you know, I don't,
Okay.
okay, so I would like to hear her thoughts. I would like to hear more on that question because does she have kids? Has she always been a lesbian? Because let's be real, I'm I'm gonna point this out to every woman. If you have fucked a man, you are not a lesbian. You're not a lesbian.
Not
You
even a
might
little
be
bit.
you might be confused, but if you literally find attraction in a man and a woman, you're not a fucking lesbian. If you get tired of if you could just get tired of dick, or excuse me, if you get tired of men in general and decide, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and see what it's like to be with a woman, you're not a lesbian. Like, and no, we don't need more lesbians. We don't, because our kids don't need to see that. But
Okay.
hey,
I'll let you have the floor on that one. I wasn't even going to answer that question, but I'm just, my point of view is this is not what we're talking about. We're not talking about who you're attracted to, what gender we're talking about the man's influence in the home. So I don't, we're not talking about a lesbian issue here. Um, so I'm going to go to Spirit Soul Energy says we need masculine influence inside the home, and that's what we're talking about here. So I don't want it to take the conversation there. You know what I mean? So let's just, you know what I'm saying?
that's
That's a completely different topic, to be quite honest.
that's a whole different
Yeah,
topic for
it's a
another
whole different topic
video.
for another video. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, if we get enough requests, I will ask Miss Ashley on here again, and we'll talk about lesbianism. I mean, y'all can see she doesn't hold her tongue, so
Do
are you
it.
sure you want that?
Do it. I have a lot to talk about that too. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate you bringing me on so we could talk about this, because
Oh, no problem. No problem.
there's a lot that I've wanted to say, and I am a writer. I'm very great at writing, so come check out my blog. But
Absolutely.
when it comes to doing videos, I want to do more now that the kids are out of school, and I'm really hoping they don't go back in August, because even if they do, I'm thinking about keeping them home. But with that and me being home, I'll be able to make more videos, and I really want to promote,
Mhm.
the black man, and I really want to help him understand the black woman.
Oh,
And
and that's a noble cause right there. I applaud you for doing that. You know, yeah, that's. Was there anything in particular that caused you to want to do that? Was there anything that happened, or you just said enough of what I'm seeing? You know what I mean? Is that what it was?
the whole reason why I started this is because I have a black son, and I want him to be able. I also, for myself, wanted to learn myself, but it's more for my son and my daughter, mostly for my black son, because he doesn't have his father around as much. He is there, but not as much. But I wanted to know the effects and causes of not having a man in a boy's life, and I've seen it outside of my son. I've seen it at school. I've seen it in the community, and I've seen it in grown men. And I'm like, I don't want my son to act like that. So something has to change. So, I promote it, and a lot of women don't want to hear this shit. But
They
you know
don't.
what? If you're going to have my son around your children, you're going to act right. And your kids are going to act right. Because fuck that. Like, come on, ladies. Like, no, I'm serious. Like, it's ridiculous because people want to raise their kids a certain way, but not the right way. Like, yeah, you can literally clothe them, feed them, things of that nature, but that's not raising them. You really need to teach them the shit that they don't learn in school. You
Mm,
know, the things that they're not going to teach them is the truth about history,
mm,
especially their history, Black history. The
mm.
indigenous people, they will not teach them this shit. They will be confused up until the day that they graduate of what really happened and what goes on in this country. This country has been built off of lies. And my kid's dad is actually from Ghana. So they have a whole different culture that
Mhm.
I want them to learn
Okay.
from Ghana, from the African roots, So
Right.
this whole Western way of doing things, the whole hookup culture, I don't want my kids, and I will not promote it to my kids. And I'm young, and my kids are also young, so I have time. I know a lot of women that have older kids that have ran out of time, and they didn't know this knowledge before, and they really could have benefited from knowing a lot of stuff that I know
Right.
if they would have known it earlier on. But hey, it's better to learn never than or late than never.
Late,
Excuse me.
late than never. Yeah, I got you. I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah. I mean, our kids got to see better. Our kids have to see and do better than our generations.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, this world is going on a downward spiral as it has been. But not my kids,
Right. Right.
not mine.
In your opinion, why do the sisters seem to hate each other?
I just wrote a blog on this. Just
That's why
did.
I asked you the question.
Um, So, I truly believe it's from society and how we've been promoted and how what we've been taught is beauty. Um, a certain kind of woman has to look a certain kind of way to get a certain kind of man.
Mm,
If she doesn't qualify or look the same as another, it's her self-esteem is lowered. When a woman's self-esteem is lowered, her vibrations are lowered. You cannot vibrate on a low level and expect high quality things in your life, like a man or just abundance and things like that nature. But when a woman is vibrating on so low self-esteem, she starts to hate herself. She starts to hate women around her. And it literally will vibrate everywhere into her life. And she will just literally hate every woman around her.
mm,
It's literally it's self hate for herself. When a
right.
woman hates herself, she'll hate everything and everyone around her. And I think it's sad to see women hate each other so much that they will put one down or sleep with a married man or
Mm,
things of that nature. It's sad to see that a woman hates herself so much
mm, mm.
that she hates everyone around her, because that's literally what it is. She don't hate them women. She hates herself.
So it's a
Period.
reflection of herself.
Exactly. And that with that comes jealousy and envy and death because
Mm,
literally you're killing yourself. You're literally killing yourself of hating yourself so much.
right.
Women, but society will tell you, you see all these tutorials on YouTube of how to do your makeup and you need all this stuff to make yourself look beautiful. It's really hard not to see it when you're on social media all the time.
Right.
So the unrealisticness of what beauty is,
Mhm.
they promote makeup. They don't promote natural beauty.
Right.
Women are exposed to the fakeness of makeup and the fakeness of bodies, like body shapes, unrealistically.
Mhm.
So it I'm not surprised that it happens. It's happening more than before, but it's it's really sad. Women have to get to a point where, hey, I love myself for how I look and who I am, and you know, it's really it's a touchy subject.
Right.
Um, Women just have to love each other.
Right.
They really need to start loving each other and supporting each other more instead of looking at society's unrealistic views on how women are supposed to look, because it may work for some women,
Hmm.
it may not work for others, but it's just it's unrealistic. Half of the shit that they promote is unrealistic for a woman's beauty, or what they call beauty. Um,
Right.
but yeah, so to answer your question, low self-esteem in a woman will make her hate another woman. It's all hate for herself,
So
and that's sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead. No, go. You were talking. Go ahead.
Um, and that's something nobody can save you from. You literally have to do that work yourself. You
Right.
can't have somebody love you to love yourself.
Right.
You literally have to love yourself, and
Right.
you can share that love. You can definitely share the love, but
Yeah.
you cannot have anybody show you how to love your own self. You literally
Right.
have to do that yourself. That's being
Right.
spiritually awakened, is you
Right.
learn how to love yourself.
Right. Right. So everything that we've talked about thus far is a result of deep rooted issues such as slavery, such as the propaganda that's, I mean, all kinds of propaganda against like our hair, you know what I mean? Our skin color, everything that we talked about so far has a deep rooted issue. And nobody's looking at the deeper issues here, that what causes us to be this way and how did we get here? You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that goes right into my next question. What exactly is the hookup culture?
So I know what it is. It's bullshit. I'm joking. So it's basically individuals who promote and or accept one night stands, um, friends with benefits, sleeping with each other just for fun. You know, the hookup culture was created to basically, I believe, for women to be single mothers, because it's promoted as, hey, just casual sex. Hey, I don't want a relationship, but I also want to just have sex. And, women, like we talked about, being at a low self-esteem state. Well, if she wants that certain kind of man, she will lower her expectations, and she will lower her respect for herself just to have a little bit of sex and give him what he wants. And basically it's basically just, a lot of people don't talk about it, but when you literally just have sex just to have sex and no strings attached, people don't realize the spiritual aspect of transfers of energies.
Right.
It's just STDs. It's literally not just STDs, because that's a big one. Having kids, STDs, but transfers of energies. You take on energies of the individuals that they've had sex with before you. It just, if you can imagine one person sleeping with another person,
Mhm.
how many people in those two individuals' lives slept with how many people? You take on these energies, and you have no idea how they have been raised, what they've been exposed to, what kind of level of vibrations that they've been, vibrating on. It's actually deep, deep when it comes to spirituality. Like, having sex just to have sex, it's not okay. It's actually really scary when you're spiritually awoken, and that when you take on other people's energies, being empaths, just being around people. But
Mhm.
imagine having sex with people just to have sex, and you don't know that person.
Mhm.
Oh, you're really setting yourself up you're really setting yourself up. You're fucking yourself
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like seriously, there's no other word to it. But
Right.
the hookup culture is it's gross. But it's really not, it's not okay. It's
Yeah.
literally been promoted as okay. It's literally been promoted as, hey, I take care of business at home. I got a job, and if I don't want a relationship right now, let me just go have sex.
Let me just go fuck somebody. Let me just go. Yeah. Grab some random dingaling. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know him. You go to the bar and you might meet a guy and he's attractive, and hey, I'm gonna take him home for the night. And
Yeah.
yeah, you don't know what you're bringing into your home, and you don't know what's entering your body, regardless if you're using protection or not. When it comes to the spiritual aspect, you don't know what you're bringing into your body, and you don't realize what energies are entering your body, because sex is supposed to be, spiritual. It's supposed to be
Love.
meant. It's, yeah, exactly. Like, supposed to be to create love and, to manifest, but
Right.
manifest love. It's
Right.
not meant for, I guess, just the fun aspect of it. Hey, I just need to
Right.
get me some. I need to get me some. It might have worked back then. It might have worked when you were younger. I guess when you get older, I think it's better for us to teach our kids this. Now that, like, for me, for example, like my kids, now that I know it, I can teach it to them so that they're not running around at 16 or 17 years old with the whole hookup culture. Hey, I just want to fuck. It's not gonna happen. Like, so a lot of people need to wake up to this. The hookup culture is not okay. It's
Right.
not only promoting unsafe sex, it's promoting, being a single mom, because a lot of women have kids out of just one night stands. A lot of
Right.
women end up single mothers because they don't know who their father is, because
Right.
that one night that they just wanted to have fun.
Right.
It's damaging to our bodies as women. It's damaging to our uteruses. It's damaging to our souls. It's not okay.
Right.
We
Right.
we got to learn this stuff, and
Right.
we have to teach it to our kids so
Right.
they don't pass it on.
Right. The spirit soul energy says women need to heal their womb space before they can get to that point, aligning their mind, body, and spirit. Once they develop that self love, then they can express love outwardly. Totally agree with that. You agree with that?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And so you have another question from Christine. She asks, what are your thoughts on culture vultures and how it affects how Black women's self esteem?
Culture vultures. Is she referring to like how the white race try to take our culture and
I think so. I think that's what she's asking. I think that's
I guess you can't. I mean, it has already happened. They already took our culture and try to make it their own, or flip the script with the whole Bible bullshit.
Mhm.
It's something that we have to realize in ourselves that is not true. And when we see our Black counterparts acting as if what the white man says is true, we have to call them out.
Right.
Hey, that's not our culture. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
let me show you how. Or even directing them to some books, showing them personally what is true. Because of course they've taken our culture, flipped it. They took in, the whole witchcraft,
Everything.
made
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
demonized, and they try to demonize everything that the black community has done, and it's not true. And as long as you know it's not true, you can promote and teach other people.
It's funny you
Which,
said that because I've been watching Sabrina, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix. I know, go ahead and laugh, but um, I find it funny that the they have these aunts and Sabrina. They come from a lineage of witches, And you might think there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that that's not true. You know, the original witch was a black woman. You know what I'm saying? It was a black woman from which the word bitch comes from, because it means priestess of the dog star. You know what I'm saying? So even that they have taken. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to make it seem like, you know, oh, this is something they were born into. No, it actually the sisters are the original witches. I mean, just look at the Tutuba. If you don't know her, she's the witch of Salem. You know what I'm saying? That's not talked about. Anyway, I'm not trying to go off on a tangent, but I just found it interesting that you said that. It just reminded me of, I'm like, yeah, they have taken every single thing and have made it their own and have made us believe that they are the originators of it. It's just not true. That was
That's right. Exactly what you said. I mean, those were good examples of how they do it.
yeah.
You know, but I mean, if you don't know your own history, if you haven't looked into it yourself, then you will actually believe half the shit of being true. So, you know, you got to do your own research, kind of question shit. Like, a lot of people don't question the Bible. A lot of people don't question what's been written in the Bible to not make sense. Like, it comes to a point where reality kicks in and you're like, this shit just does not make sense. I think I talked about it the other day about, I think it was like 6 or 7 days it took for God to create Earth. And the third day was the sun. Well, I'm like, how can anything be created without the sun?
I saw that post.
So wouldn't that be the first? Like,
yeah.
So then we just have to question this shit. Like,
Yeah.
instead of believing, we have to know.
Right.
We have to know. So,
right.
It's kind of a joke, but at the same time, it's not, because our kids aren't going to learn it unless we learn it, and we have to do a lot of research to find out the truth.
To unlearn everything we've been taught, pretty much.
Yeah.
And as Terenzo asks or says, becoming aware of that energy gives it light, and that light needs to be used to burn that chaos away out of existence.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you have any other thoughts on the hookup culture, or any final thoughts?
Just
before you do, how again can people reach you? Like, where's your blog? Because I'm going to have this in the information part under the video. But for those, again, they want to reach you, how will they reach you again?
So the blog is called Beautiful Goddess 89 at blogspot.com. Or you can reach out to me on Facebook. It's under Ashley Keys. And you can get a hold of me that way. Send me a friend request. I'm still gonna be working on my videos, so look out for my videos. But
absolutely.
I'll probably be sending like direct links from my blog to my YouTube, and I haven't really figured out how I'm gonna do that yet. But I will definitely let you guys know on my blog once I figure all that out. So.
Okay. And you've had a lot to say. Any closing thoughts? Closing thoughts on the hookup culture?
We gotta do better. Okay. We gotta do better, y'all. We just really gotta do better. That's all I really have to say. We have to do better. We have to do better for our kids, and we have to raise these kids right. What we were taught was complete bullshit, and we have to do better for our children. Otherwise, it's not gonna stop.
Right. All right. Okay, I have enjoyed having you here. Thanks so much for coming by. Would you join me again sometime so we could talk about lesbianism? It's like, no.
Right. we gonna have to pick up that one. We're gonna have to pick up that topic for sure. I'm ready for that one. I appreciate you having me, though. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And thank y'all for tuning in. I am Magick La Croix. My special guest, Miss Ashley Keys. We will sign out for now. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
Bye.